Chosen one, listen closely. This moment was written long before you ever faced the laughter, long before they whispered your name in mockery. They saw the cracks but not the crown. They mistook your silence for weakness, your humility for defeat. But heaven saw. Every night you wept. Heaven recorded every word spoken against you. Heaven heard. You are not forgotten, you are marked. You are the one God has been watching, waiting to vindicate. They laughed because they thought your story had ended. They mocked because they believed your downfall was permanent. Yet the same mouths that mocked you will one day whisper your name in awe. The same hands that pointed in ridicule will tremble when they see how God lifts you. Do you understand what that means? Chosen one, you are not like them. You were never meant to be. When you were in pain, heaven was not silent, it was preparing. You see, there is a difference between delay and denial. God's silence was not absence, it was strategy. While they mocked, you were in divine incubation. While they laughed, you were being refined for revelation. Beloved, there comes a moment when heaven says enough. And when heaven says enough, the laughter of men turns into the trembling of souls. This is that moment. The eyes of the Lord are open upon you. The season of humiliation is closing. The same God who watched them mock his Son on the cross has now turned his gaze toward you, and he is not indifferent. Remember, the cross was laughter to the world, but resurrection was God's answer. The mockery of Friday turned into the victory of Sunday. You, chosen one, are standing in your Friday moment, but heaven is preparing your Sunday dawn. The world thought it ended, but heaven calls it about to begin. Lift your head. You have cried enough. You have explained yourself to deaf hearts for too long. Now you let God speak for you. When God rises, no voice of ridicule can stand. Every word they spoke will echo back upon them. For the Lord himself will defend the one he has chosen. Do not let bitterness enter your heart. Let mercy remain. For your strength is not in vengeance, but in vindication. You are a vessel of glory, not a victim of mockery. Every sneer you endured, every insult you carried, was fuel for the anointing that now awakens inside you. Heaven saw it all, and heaven is responding. Let these words anchor you. The laughter of men is temporary, but the justice of God is eternal. The mockery of this world cannot cancel the favor written over your name. You are the divine contradiction, the one who fell and yet rises higher than before. And now, the Spirit of the Lord speaks to you through ancient truth. The Word of God declares in the book of Psalms, chapter 30, verse 5, "Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning." Do you feel that? Chosen one, that is your spirit lifting again. That is heaven whispering, you will soar. Those who laughed at your fall will watch your rise, and the sound of your rising will silence every critic. Your story is not a tragedy, it is a testimony. Every chapter soaked in tears becomes the foundation for your triumph. The night they mocked you was the same night heaven wrote your name into destiny's dawn. Nothing, they said, can erase what God decreed. You are walking into a season of divine recompense. The same God who turned Joseph's prison into a palace is about to rewrite your ending. Stay faithful, for every secret tear has become a seed of glory waiting to bloom. Heaven is moving right now in unseen ways. Angels are being dispatched. Doors are being unlocked. and hearts that once scorned you will witness your ascension. You are not forgotten, you are favored, chosen for such a time as this. So right now, before this moment passes, pause and act in faith. If this message reaches your soul, if you know heaven is speaking through these words, then let your voice rise in agreement. Like, share, and subscribe so that this word may reach another chosen soul standing in the shadows. And comment below, not as a gesture of vanity, but as a prophetic act. Comment this number 777, for it symbolizes divine completion, the signature of God's perfect timing. When you write it, you are declaring, my waiting is ending, my rising has begun, heaven is watching, chosen one. And this is only the beginning of your vindication. They never saw the weight you carried. Chosen one. Behind every smile was a battlefield. Behind every quiet night, a storm that raged unseen. You walked through fires that others could not survive. And yet you never cursed heaven. You held your peace, even when your heart felt like breaking into dust. That restraint was not weakness, it was proof of divine strength. You see, pain has a purpose when it's allowed by God. The furnace of affliction is not built to destroy you, but to refine you. What looked like punishment was preparation. Heaven was not cruel, it was careful. The fire you endured was not random, it was precise, deliberate, sculpting your spirit into something unbreakable. There were days when you begged for relief, nights when your prayers felt unanswered, moments when you questioned if heaven had turned away. But all along, you were in training. While others lived comfortably in compromise, you were being forged in consecration. The flames were hot because your calling is heavy. You were not made for ordinary things. You were crafted for eternal impact. The world mocks what it doesn't understand. They laughed at your breakdowns because they didn't know those tears were watering seeds of destiny. They called you foolish for forgiving, unaware that forgiveness was the key unlocking your next dimension. They ridiculed your faith because faith unsettles those who live in fear. Beloved, the fire was sacred. Every trial was heaven's classroom. Every heartbreak a holy appointment. When God chooses a vessel, He purifies it, not publicly, but privately. You endured your refining in secret so that your revealing will be undeniable. You didn't know it then, but heaven was recording every moment of endurance. The moments you wanted to give up, but didn't, the nights you whispered, Lord, I still trust you. Through tears, those were counted as victories in the courts of heaven. Do you remember how it felt when everything you loved was stripped away? That was the purification of your attachments. God was removing what couldn't survive where you're going. Every loss was pruning. Every betrayal was divine subtraction, creating room for the fruit of your next season. Sometimes God hides you in suffering so that when you rise, no one can claim they made you. Your pain became your protection. The very fire that burned your comfort also purified your motives. You are cleaner now, sharper, more dangerous to darkness than ever before. And now, the ancient wisdom speaks again. According to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs, chapter 17, verse 3, the refining pot is for silver, and the furnace for gold, but the Lord tests the hearts. Yes, chosen one, the Lord tested your heart, and you did not fail. You were not perfect, but you remained faithful. You kept your worship alive when everything around you screamed quit. That endurance became your signature in heaven. Every cry in the furnace was heard. Every tear in the fire was gathered. You thought no one saw. But heaven's archive holds it all. God was not ignoring your suffering. He was watching your transformation. The laughter of those who mocked you will soon fade, for they mocked a seed, not knowing it was planted for greatness. You are emerging now. No longer the same person who entered that fire. You have authority born from endurance, wisdom carved by flame, and a peace that cannot be shaken by opinion. The furnace did not destroy you, it defined you. You were being shaped into a weapon of light, tempered by heat, sharpened by hardship. You will not break easily, for your strength has been tested by fire. And when you walk now, the atmosphere changes, not because of arrogance, but because of purity. The ones who mocked will sense it, but won't understand it. They will see a glow on you that comes only from surviving what was meant to consume you. Do not curse the fire that made you. Bless it, for through it, you found your identity. Through it, you met God, not in comfort, but in closeness. You saw him not in the palace, but in the pain. And in that sacred encounter, something in you became eternal. You are walking proof that the fire does not win. Heaven's hand preserved you for purpose. Every scar is now a signature of divine craftsmanship, a reminder that, though you were tested, you were not destroyed. The furnace did its work. And now the gold shines. There was a time, chosen one, when heaven seemed silent. You cried out, but the sky gave no answer. You asked for signs, but only shadows replied. It felt like God had vanished, like your prayers had dissolved into empty air. Yet now you are beginning to understand God's silence was not abandonment, it was alignment. When heaven is quiet, it is never idle. In the stillness, the divine hand is at work. While you were questioning, heaven was constructing. While you were waiting, the pieces of your destiny were being arranged with precision. You thought you were forgotten, but in truth, you were being prepared. There are seasons when God hides you, not because you are unworthy, but because your calling is too weighty to be exposed prematurely. The silence was a shield. Had he spoken too soon, you might have moved too early. Had he revealed too much, others would have tried to sabotage what he was shaping. You see, the silence of God is often the sound of strategy. Every unanswered prayer carried wisdom, every delay carried purpose. You were being positioned, not punished. God's apparent absence was his most careful protection. The wilderness you walked through was never meant to destroy you. It was where you learned to hear heaven's whisper. It stripped away the noise of applause and left only the voice that matters. That is where you discovered that peace is not the absence of storms, it is the presence of trust. When God is silent, the faithful heart learns to listen differently. It learns to trust in character rather than circumstance. You began to realize that even when you felt forsaken, you were never alone. Angels walked beside you in unseen light, holding you steady when your knees trembled. And now, heaven reveals what was hidden all along. Silence was the language of preparation. You were not forgotten, you were fortified. Every quiet night built resilience. Every unanswered prayer taught endurance. What you mistook as distance was divine discipline, shaping you for the day you would stand as proof that God's silence is never his absence. Listen now to what the sacred words remind us. The Apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, chapter 4, verse 17, "For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all." Do you hear that? Chosen one, your suffering was not wasted. The silence of heaven was working for your glory. What felt like an invisible delay was in fact an eternal investment. You were being trusted with trials so that you could carry triumph. In the stillness, God built something within you that noise could never shape: faith that doesn't depend on feelings. Faith that stands when nothing makes sense. Faith that moves mountains quietly, without needing to be seen. That is the kind of faith the world cannot counterfeit. You have reached a turning point. The silence has ended. And now, heaven begins to speak through manifestation. The very situations that once confused you will now confirm you. The prayers that seemed unanswered will soon bloom in unexpected forms. You will look back and realize that the delay was mercy, that the hidden season was grace. Remember this truth. Chosen one, the silence of God is not a void, it is the womb of miracles. What grows in stillness will one day roar with power. Every seed planted in tears will bloom in testimony. And when it happens, you will no longer question why heaven was quiet, for you will see that heaven was never still. Now the Spirit says, "Do not despise the days when nothing seems to happen. For in those days, heaven was doing the deepest work, building you into someone unstoppable. You were being taught to hear without hearing, to believe without seeing, to walk without proof. That is what makes you chosen. You are not the same person who entered the silence. You have become a vessel of still strength, a carrier of quiet fire. The waiting refined your hearing, the stillness sharpened your spirit. And now, as heaven prepares to speak again, the world will see what patience and faith can produce. So, chosen one, before this word ends, seal your faith with an act of agreement. Type these simple words below: "I trust you." Do not underestimate them. This is not a phrase, it is a declaration to heaven and to every watching spirit that your trust was not shaken by silence. It means you have learned the language of faith, the power of patience, and the peace that comes from knowing God never left. Write it once, clearly and boldly. And as you do, know this: the very silence that once confused you is now breaking open into sound, the sound of divine response. Heaven is about to speak. And when it does, every moment of stillness will finally make sense. The winds are shifting. Chosen one, you can sense it in your spirit. Can't you? The same ground that once buried you is beginning to move beneath your feet. The same air that carried mockery now hums with divine anticipation. This is the season of reversal, the quiet turn when heaven begins to rewrite what the world once declared over you. Every tear that fell, every insult that was spoken, every humiliation that seemed final, it all stands now before the Judge of heaven. Nothing was wasted. Nothing went unseen. There is no pain without purpose in the life of the chosen. You thought you had lost, but you were merely being repositioned. They said you were finished. They said your story was over. Yet here you stand, breathing in the evidence that God writes better endings than the world imagines. The tables are turning, and this time, they will turn in full view of those who once mocked your faith. Heaven is not silent anymore. Heaven is strategic. And the first move of divine justice has already begun. You must understand, reversal does not come with noise. It begins with signs. small shifts in your spirit, sudden peace in places that once held chaos, unexpected favor where you least expected mercy. These are not coincidences, they are divine indicators that the turning has started. Every delay was necessary. Every no from heaven was an unseen not yet. You were waiting for a door, but God was building an entirely new path, one that no man can shut. This is the moment when divine justice steps forward. The power that once seemed absent now moves like thunder. And those who thought you were finished will have no explanation for your rise. You are not returning to who you were before the pain. You are emerging as someone transformed, carrying wisdom, fire, and unshakable clarity. The breaking was necessary so that you would no longer depend on the approval of others. The silence was necessary so that your ear would tune to heaven alone. The loss was necessary so that the gain could be eternal. And now, the prophetic words echo through time to confirm what is unfolding. As the prophet wrote in the scroll of Habakkuk, chapter 1, verse 5, "Look among the nations and watch, be utterly astounded. For I will work a work in your days which you would not believe, though it were told you." Yes, chosen one, God is about to do something unbelievable. Not because you are deserving, but because you are destined. The laughter of your enemies will turn into awe. Those who said, "It will never happen," will stand speechless as heaven unveils what it has been preparing all along. This turning is not about revenge, it is about revelation. God is not proving them wrong, He is proving Himself faithful. You are the evidence of His promise, the living testimony of His timing. What seemed like ashes will become architecture for glory. The same people who thought you were too broken will soon wonder how you shine with such peace. The same situations that once drained you will now empower you. You will look at the places of pain and realize they were actually the wombs of your becoming. Reversal, in heaven's language, means justice with purpose. It is not just about elevation, it is about restoration. God will not merely give you back what you lost, He will multiply it until the loss becomes irrelevant. Every shameful memory will bow before divine fulfillment. Every mocking word will dissolve in the presence of your undeniable transformation. Do not rush it. The turning is sacred. It must unfold in divine sequence. For what God is aligning cannot be undone by haste. You are stepping into the part of your story where what was meant for evil is being rewritten for glory. Look back for a moment, not in regret, but in recognition. The tears that once blinded you now become your lenses of wisdom. The wounds that once bled now carry oil. The laughter that once mocked now fuels your rise. The very things that were meant to destroy you are now serving your purpose. You are not waiting for the tables to turn anymore, they already are. Heaven has decided the verdict, and the shift is in motion. Walk forward, steady and sure, for the same God who allowed the night has ordained the morning. You are no longer the victim of laughter, you are the vessel of reversal. Let the world watch, for what God does next will silence every doubt. The fire that once tested you now lights your path, and the storm that once broke you has become the wind that lifts your wings. You are entering the season where divine justice will be visible, where heaven's hand will move so clearly that even your enemies will know it was God all along. Heaven's patience has limits. Chosen one, every whisper of ridicule, every cruel smile cast your way, it did not go unnoticed. The laughter that once echoed around you has reached heaven's ears. And now the Lion of Judah is rising from his throne. There are moments when mercy steps back and justice steps forward. This is one of them. The anger of God is not like the anger of man. It is not impulsive, not cruel. It is righteous, protective, holy. It burns not because he hates, but because he loves. He watched his chosen vessel endure storms meant to destroy, insults meant to crush, and betrayals meant to silence. But you did not give up. You held on, and now heaven itself is stirred. You have been patient, forgiving, long-suffering. You turned the other cheek when you were mocked. You blessed those who cursed you. But God, who sees every hidden wound, has said, "Enough." Just as a shepherd rises when the wolf draws near, so does the Lord rise now to defend what is his. The laughter that once pierced your spirit has become the evidence that heaven needed. There is a line that cannot be crossed, and the mockers have stepped beyond it. Now heaven's fire moves not to destroy, but to restore. The anger of God is the shadow of his love. It is the storm that clears the air, the thunder that breaks silence so truth can be heard again. He is not coming with vengeance, born of spite, but with justice, born of compassion. He is not punishing them to satisfy wrath, but to protect your purpose. And the sacred text confirms this truth. The voice of God thundered in the book of Exodus. Chapter 14, verse 14. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. There it is. Chosen one, divine assurance. You are not called to fight this battle with words, revenge, or bitterness. The Lord himself steps into the arena. The same God who silenced Pharaoh's army will silence the voices that mocked you. The same power that split the sea for Moses will part the waters that have tried to drown your peace. You may not see the full picture yet, but something in the spiritual realm has shifted. The laughter that once surrounded you has turned into confusion among those who mocked you. They will soon see what happens when God defends the one he has anointed. Still, even in this moment of divine justice, let humility guard your heart. Do not gloat over those who once mocked you. Do not rejoice in their downfall. Instead, lift your eyes and whisper, "Thank you, Lord, for fighting battles I never could." Because the truth is, this is not just your vindication, it's your revelation. Heaven is showing the world what happens when someone refuses to break under pressure. You, chosen one, are like a tree that grew in the middle of a storm. The winds tried to uproot you, but instead, they made your roots dig deeper. You are stronger now, more grounded, and your leaves will not wither. Your resilience has become a sermon without words. Those who laughed at your fall will one day take shade under the strength of your testimony. That's how God works. He turns mockery into ministry. The very pain that was meant to humiliate you will now heal others. Your scars will speak louder than their laughter ever did. Heaven never wastes a wound. Now, as you hear these words, take a moment to breathe. Feel the weight of the past seasons lift. The air is changing. The light is shifting. Justice is near. The same God who saw you in silence is now speaking through storms. And this time, his voice will be unmistakable. If these words resonate in your spirit, if you feel that sacred tremble of recognition deep within your chest, let your faith respond, not out of vanity, but out of gratitude. When you like, it is not just an action, it's a silent amen to heaven's movement. When you share, it becomes your seed of testimony, reaching another soul who needs to know that God still fights for his chosen. When you subscribe, it's not just a click, it's your way of saying, I will stay connected to this river of truth. Think of it like lighting a lantern on a dark road. Every engagement you make is another flicker of faith that helps guide others home. Someone, somewhere, scrolling through their storm, might see your light and realize that they are not forgotten either. So let this not be entertainment, let it be encounter. The message you are hearing is not from algorithm or accident. Heaven pressed pause on your timeline to remind you that divine anger is not cruelty, it is covenant. The laughter of men has awakened the justice of God. Stay still. Chosen one. The Lord is moving, and when he moves, no voice of mockery can remain standing. You don't need to prove anything anymore. Heaven has taken your case, and the verdict is being written in your favor. And when the smoke clears and the laughter fades, you will stand not as a victim of mockery, but as a witness of mercy. The world will know you were never forgotten, never forsaken, and never alone. When God rises to defend you, chosen one, everything shifts. The atmosphere changes. The same roads that once led to rejection now lead to recognition. The same people who dismissed you begin to sense something different. They can't explain it, but they know heaven's hand is on you. This is the moment when divine justice walks into your story. You endured humiliation without striking back. You stayed silent when your name was dragged through dust. You could have defended yourself, but you didn't because heaven told you to wait. And now, your waiting has become a weapon. Heaven is moving in ways no human could have arranged. They thought their words could bury you, but those very words became seeds. They thought their mockery could stop your growth, but it only fertilized the ground of your destiny. The tables have turned so quietly that by the time your enemies notice, it will be too late to undo what God has done. This is what happens when God stands up for you. No courtroom, no gossip, no scheme can stand against the hand of the Almighty. The same way he silenced lions for Daniel, he will silence the mouths that roared against you. When heaven fights, it does not need to announce its results, speak louder than thunder. And the sacred text reminds us of this very truth, as Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 11, Blessed are you when people insult you, persecute you, and falsely say all kinds of evil against you because of me. Do you feel it? The spiritual balance tipping, the unseen courtroom shifting. That is the weight of divine intervention. You are stepping into the season where heaven's defense becomes visible. You no longer need to chase explanations. The truth will reveal itself without your effort. This is why you had to be quiet. God didn't want your words to compete with his. While you were still, he was speaking through events, through timing, through signs no man can deny. You didn't lose, you were being aligned. You didn't fall behind, you were being hidden until heaven was ready to reveal you. Those who mocked you will soon realize that they were laughing at someone heaven calls precious. And when the tables fully turn, it won't be by your strength, it will be by his Spirit. Remember, when God defends, he doesn't only restore your reputation, he redeems your story. Every piece of pain becomes part of his masterpiece. The tears you cried in private are now the ink he uses to write your next chapter. What once felt like shame is becoming your source of strength. You will not need to announce your comeback. Heaven will do that for you. Your glow will speak. Your peace will testify. And your favor will confirm what mockery tried to deny. The ones who once laughed will find themselves whispering, "Surely the Lord was with them." Do not let pride creep in as vindication arrives. Keep your spirit soft, your heart clean. Let gratitude be your armor, for what you are receiving is not revenge, it is restoration. It is the fulfillment of the divine promise, "I will fight for you. You need only to be still." Look closely at your life now. The small signs of change, the unexpected favor, the inner calm, the sudden opportunities, these are heaven's footprints. You are walking on holy ground. The defense has begun. The angels who once comforted you in silence are now working on your behalf openly. This is not coincidence. This is confirmation. Every attack was a signal that you carry something sacred. Every storm was proof that you were chosen. If you had not been marked, darkness would not have tried so hard to break you, but it failed utterly and completely. So now, chosen one, it is time to seal your faith again, not with many words, but with a prophetic act of agreement. Write this number in the comments below, 888, 3/8, the number of new beginnings and resurrection. When you type it, you're declaring, what was buried in mockery will rise in glory. It's more than a number, it's a covenant between your spirit and heaven. It says, I have seen the fire, I have endured the silence, and now I rise into the promise. This is not about superstition, it's about symbolism. Numbers have meaning in heaven's language. And 888 declares that the cycle of suffering has ended. God's justice has begun. Let the world watch. You will not lift your hand in anger, because heaven already lifted its hand in justice. You will not need to prove who you are. The fruit of your endurance will speak louder than any defense you could give. Stay steady. Stay pure. The one who began your vindication will complete it. And soon, you will stand not just as one who survived laughter, but as one crowned with divine honor. You never knew it. Chosen one. But there was a mark upon you from the beginning. It wasn't visible to human eyes, it was etched into your spirit, written in heaven's ink before you were ever born. That mark is what set you apart. It's the reason why you never fit in, why rejection seemed to follow you like a shadow. You weren't cursed, you were chosen. From the moment of your first cry, you carried something the world couldn't define. People could sense it, even if they couldn't explain it. Some were drawn to your light, others were disturbed by it. You have always carried the weight of divine distinction. The misunderstandings, the jealousy, the isolation, they were not coincidences. They were confirmations. Heaven doesn't mark ordinary people for ordinary purposes. The mark of the chosen is both blessing and burden. It means you will often be misunderstood, sometimes even by those closest to you. It means you will carry more, feel deeper, and see beyond what others can. That sensitivity, which the world called weakness, is actually your strength. It's your spiritual radar, tuned to the frequency of heaven. You have noticed, haven't you, that your spirit reacts to things others ignore? You feel unrest in places where others feel nothing. You discern lies wrapped in smiles. You sense shifts in atmosphere before they happen. That is not paranoia, it is perception. You are marked to see what others can't because your assignment requires awareness. But this mark also comes with warfare. The enemy saw it long before you did. He recognized your potential and launched his attacks early, hoping to wear you down before you understood who you were. That's why your childhood may have been heavy, why you experienced rejection, betrayal, or abandonment. The darkness was afraid of what you would become. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah. Chapter 1, verse 5. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. Yes, chosen one, you were known before you were named. You were set apart before you were seen. Every detour in your life was actually a design. The places you were not allowed to go were not rejection, they were redirection. God didn't let you blend in because He needed you to stand out. There were times you begged to be normal, to fit, to rest in the comfort of the crowd. But deep down, something always pulled you away. You couldn't pretend for long. The mark on your life would never let you settle for less than destiny. It would disturb your peace in wrong places until you walked back into purpose. This mark is not a punishment, it's a passport. It gives you access to divine wisdom, to supernatural endurance, to clarity in chaos. It is why, even in your lowest moments, you could still sense hope whispering, "Get up." That was heaven reminding you of who you are. Others may not understand this calling, and that's all right. They weren't meant to. You don't need validation from those who cannot see your value. The crown you carry is invisible for now, but soon it will become undeniable. The same people who once dismissed your difference will one day depend on your discernment. You must guard this mark with humility and prayer. The gift of being chosen can become a trap if you let pride creep in. The moment you start believing you are better than others, you lose the purity that made you chosen in the first place. You are not chosen to boast, you are chosen to build, to heal, to carry light into dark places. This mark means you cannot walk like everyone else. You cannot compromise like they do, because your destiny costs more. It means you will often walk alone, but you will never walk empty. Each lonely season adds authority to your voice. Each silent night fills your heart with revelation that no classroom could teach. Do not resent the isolation. Embrace it. It is the price of divine intimacy. When God marks you, He often hides you, not to punish you, but to prepare you. Every hidden season shapes your strength. Every closed door refines your character. There is peace in finally accepting this truth. You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to burn brighter. Your difference is not your disadvantage, it is your distinction. The world needs what you carry, even if it cannot understand it yet. So, walk boldly. Chosen one, let your light unsettle the darkness. Let your purity challenge the corruption around you. And when people ask why you're different, just smile, because the answer is too sacred for explanation. The mark upon you speaks for itself, and heaven recognizes its own. They thought your story was over. Chosen one, they watched you fall and assumed that was your final chapter. They mistook your pause for an ending, your quiet for defeat. But heaven has a way of writing stories that confuse human logic. The same people who laughed when you stumbled will now stand in disbelief as you rise. You see, God specializes in unexpected ascents. He delights in lifting those the world has dismissed. The ones who were cast aside often carry the deepest oil of purpose. You have been hidden, refined, and reshaped by the fires of time, not forgotten, but forged. And now, The sound of your rising is beginning to echo in the spirit realm. Do you feel it, that inner stirring? Like wind moving beneath your wings, that's not ambition, it's resurrection. It's the signal that the season of silence has ended. Heaven has authorized your elevation. What once looked like loss is about to become leverage, as was spoken in the sacred texts of old. In the book of Psalms, chapter 75, verse 6, "For promotion comes neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south, but God is the judge. He puts down one and exalts another." Yes, chosen one, it is God who lifts, not status, not influence, not human favor. Your name is being mentioned in rooms you've never entered because heaven whispered it there. You will rise, not by competing, but by being complete in your calling. The grace upon you will speak louder than any introduction. This rise will be quiet but undeniable. You won't need to announce it. Those who mocked you will recognize it. They'll look at you and see something they cannot understand, a peace too deep, a confidence too holy, a glow that cannot be manufactured. That's what divine elevation looks like. It's not pride, it's proof. And the beauty of this rise is that it will not make you arrogant. It will make you grateful. The same God who lifted you can lift others through you. That is why your rise matters. It's not for you alone. Your story becomes a mirror where others see what grace can do. You have been through the valley. That's why your ascent will carry power. You've learned what it means to walk through shadow without losing light. You've endured betrayal and still chosen love. Those scars on your heart, they are not reminders of pain, they are symbols of passage. They show heaven that you were faithful in the furnace. And now you're ready for the flame of favor. There will be those who will try to understand your rise through logic. They'll think it was timing, or luck, or connections. But you will know the truth. You'll smile, not with pride, but with peace, because only you and God know what it costs to stand here. Remember this, those who laughed at your fall will not be able to deny your elevation. They'll watch from a distance, whispering among themselves. How did it happen? But you will not gloat. You will simply walk in grace, knowing that every moment of mockery was turned into momentum by heaven's hand. Your rise will not be sudden, it will be steady. The higher you climb, the quieter it becomes. The noise of the crowd fades, and all that remains is the whisper of destiny saying, "Keep going." You are ascending into the space you were always meant to occupy. But never forget the purpose of this rise. It is not to prove them wrong, it is to prove that God was right about you all along. Your story is not a tale of revenge, but of redemption. It is a display of divine timing, where humiliation becomes honor, and rejection becomes recognition. Every mountain you climb now will testify that the valley did not break you. Every step forward declares that the pit could not hold you. You are not returning to the same world that laughed at you. You are rising into a realm where laughter turns to reverence. This is the rise no one expected. It is not fueled by pride, but by promise. It is not built on applause, but on anointing. Heaven is lifting you, and nothing can pull you down. You are not climbing to be seen. You are rising to be useful. You are not ascending to be admired. You are ascending to fulfill divine purpose. The same winds that once carried whispers of mockery will now carry news of your victory. And when they see you standing calm, radiant, unbothered, they'll realize that what they called the end was actually just the turning of a page written by God Himself. There are moments, chosen one, when your pain stops being just pain, it becomes prophecy. Every tear you shed was not wasted. It was a message heaven was writing through you. What you endured was not random, it was revelation in disguise. You didn't know it then, but your heartbreak was a divine language. A secret dialogue between your soul and the one who called you. You asked why life seemed so cruel, why betrayal came from those you trusted most, why rejection felt endless. But now, as the fog begins to lift, you see it clearly. Your pain had purpose. It was a setup for awakening, a refining process that turned your sorrow into strength. God does not waste suffering. He does not allow wounds without weaving wisdom into them. The agony you faced was heaven's tool, carving depth into your spirit so that when the time came, your words would carry weight, your faith would carry fire, and your life would carry authority. The enemy thought he was silencing you, but in truth, he was helping God tune your voice. The silence you endured became the training ground for divine speech. The tears that fell became oil for your calling. This is why your pain was prophetic. It was shaping you into a vessel capable of carrying glory. Every time your heart broke, heaven recorded it as a seed planted in holy ground. And now, the first signs of harvest are appearing. What grew out of your tears cannot be manufactured by talent or strategy. It comes only from divine breaking. You see, the greatest anointing often comes from the deepest pain. The people who carry light the furthest are usually the ones who once walked through the darkest nights. You were not being punished, you were being prepared. And now, the timeless voice of Scripture whispers a reminder of this sacred exchange. The ancient words recorded in Romans, chapter 8, verse 28. And we know that all things work together for good to those who love God, to those called according to His purpose. Yes, even that thing worked for good, the betrayal, the delay, the heartbreak. Nothing was wasted. Every disappointment was realignment. Every closed door was a divine redirection. You were not losing, you were learning heaven's rhythm. When the pain was too much, when you thought you were forgotten, the Spirit of God was closer than ever. He did not abandon you in the fire. He sat with you inside it. The presence you felt when you had nothing left to give, that was heaven whispering, "This is not your end." You became stronger, not because you wanted to, but because you had to. That is the paradox of the chosen. Strength is not their ambition. It is their necessity. You didn't seek to be a warrior, yet life made you one. You didn't plan to lead, yet destiny positioned you to. Your scars became your credentials. Your wounds became your wisdom. And now, you stand at the edge of a turning point. What once felt like an endless night is finally giving way to dawn. The laughter that once mocked your suffering will soon marvel at your resilience. They will see your peace and not understand it. They will hear your story and fall silent, realizing that the one they pitied was actually the one heaven protected. Chosen one. This is not the time to hide your pain, it is time to honor it. For that pain became the prophecy that carried you here. It taught you endurance. It taught you empathy. It taught you to love deeply and forgive freely. It stripped you of pretense and left only truth, the raw, radiant truth of who you are in God. And now, as this revelation settles in your spirit, let your faith respond, not with noise, but with declaration. Type these words in the comments below. I am ready. Do not type them lightly. These are not just 3 words, they are a covenant. When you write them, you are declaring that you've learned from your pain and are prepared to walk into purpose. You are saying to heaven, I no longer resent the breaking, because I now understand it built me. When you say, I am ready, you are not announcing perfection, you are announcing surrender. You are telling God that you are done questioning His methods and ready to embrace His plan. You are telling the world that the mockery, the pain, and the silence did not destroy you, they defined you. Type it once, clearly, and let heaven see your agreement. Because now the shift begins not in the clouds, but in your heart. You have graduated from survival to significance. You have crossed from pain into prophecy. And soon, what was once your wound will become your weapon. Heaven remembers every secret tear. Chosen one, every quiet night when you whispered, Why, Lord, and heard no answer. Heaven heard that too. You thought your faith was unnoticed. But it wasn't. God was watching, not as a distant observer, but as a careful author writing your vindication. And now, the pages are turning. This is the chapter where what was done in private will be honored in public. The reward is not coming because you were perfect. It's coming because you were faithful. You stayed true when quitting seemed easier. You kept sowing love when all you reaped was silence. Heaven does not overlook such endurance. It multiplies it. You see, God never forgets what was done in secret. Every small act of kindness you gave when no one was watching, every prayer you whispered when no one would listen, all of it was written in heaven's ledger. And now, the book is opening. The time for quiet sowing is over. The time for visible harvest has come. Those who mocked you will now watch as heaven publicly honors what you privately built. The same corners of your life that once felt hidden will soon be illuminated by divine light. God is about to show the world what He saw when no one else did. You've been through years of preparation, of pruning, of being stripped of everything unnecessary. But what remains now is pure gold faith refined by fire. This is the moment when heaven rewards not the loud, but the loyal, not the famous, but the faithful. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 37, verse 6. He will make your righteousness shine like the dawn, your vindication like the noonday sun. You have reached a sacred threshold where your character will speak louder than your pain ever did. The oil that drips from your endurance is the fragrance of heaven. It draws people not to you, but to the God who carried you. Think of your life as a garden, one you've tended through storms, droughts, and unseen labor. Others laughed when it seemed barren, but you kept watering with prayer. Now, the buds are breaking through the soil. Your garden is about to bloom publicly, not to show off your strength, but to reveal the faithfulness of the gardener. And when that happens, when others see what God has grown in you, let your heart remain humble. Lift your eyes and whisper, "It was you all along." Because every good thing you're about to walk into is not a reward for effort, it's the result of grace. Still, as this word reaches you, let me speak gently from heart to heart. Don't keep this message to yourself. There are others out there, wounded souls, scrolling through silence, ready to give up, who need to hear this truth too. When you like, you're not just approving words, you're lighting a candle in the darkness. When you share, you become a bridge. Your simple action could carry this message to someone standing at the edge of despair. reminding them that their secret faith still matters. When you subscribe, it's more than following, it's staying connected to a flow of encouragement. A reminder that heaven still speaks through unexpected voices. Think of it like throwing seeds into the wind. You never know where they'll land, but God does. Maybe one will fall into the heart of someone who feels unseen, someone who needs to know that their quiet obedience is noticed. Your engagement isn't for vanity, it's for victory, shared among the chosen. This isn't about growing numbers, it's about growing faith. It's about keeping the light moving, about being part of a divine relay where every act of faith passes fire to another soul. So, as you interact with this message, do it with intention, with gratitude. You're not fueling a channel, you're fueling a movement of hope. Because this story isn't just yours, it's heaven's. Every time you lift your voice, every time you stand back up, every time you spread truth in a world full of noise, you join heaven's song. You remind the universe that faith still lives, that love still conquers, that the God of recompense still reigns. So walk into this new season with peace. The same light that exposes your pain now illuminates your purpose. Your reward is coming not from man, but from the one who watched it all. The God who saw your secret will now let the world see his glory through you. And when that day comes, your vindication won't need an explanation. It will shine, pure and undeniable. Like the noonday sun, they tried to curse you. Chosen one, they spoke words of limitation, hoping their jealousy would shape your destiny. They whispered lies behind closed doors, building altars of gossip and envy. Yet here you are still rising, still breathing, still walking in the grace that no curse can touch. For what God blesses, no human can reverse. You've been targeted, not because of weakness, but because of weight. There is power in your presence that unsettles those who walk without purpose. They can sense something about you, something unexplainable, something divine, and that's why they've tried to contain it. But light cannot be contained by shadow, no matter how they plot. They cannot prevent what heaven has prepared. Curses lose their power where covenant lives. You are covered, marked, sealed by the Spirit of the living God. Every tongue that rose against you in judgment is already silenced in the courts of heaven. You didn't have to fight back, you only had to stand still. The battle was never yours, it was God's from the beginning. Remember this truth: the enemy cannot curse what God has blessed. The reason you survived attacks that others could not is because you are anchored in a promise that predates every problem. Your destiny was spoken before your enemies ever existed. You are living proof that divine favor outlasts human intention. And now, the sacred word testifies to this eternal reality. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Deuteronomy, chapter 23, verse 5. Nevertheless, the Lord your God would not listen to Balaam, but the Lord your God turned the curse into a blessing for you. Because the Lord your God loves you, there it is love as your defense. Every curse redirected by compassion, every attack transformed into advancement. God's love is not just emotional, it's protective. It stands like a shield between you and every arrow of malice. That's why what was meant to bury you only built you. The very thing that was supposed to end you became evidence of your endurance. If you look closely, you'll notice how the curses never stuck. They slid off you like rain off armor. Every lie fell powerless. Every attempt to block you eventually became a stepping stone. Even the betrayals, though painful, served their purpose. They separated you from those who could not carry the next version of your calling. Your life is a living contradiction to the plans of darkness. Every plot written against you has already been rewritten by divine mercy. God has a way of using what was meant to harm His chosen ones as the very catalyst for their growth. What the enemy designs as poison, heaven converts into oil. You are walking in a paradox that only faith can explain. The more they curse, the more you are blessed. The harder they push, the higher you rise. The darker the room, the brighter your light. This is not coincidence, it is covenant. You are covered by a promise that cannot fail. But do not let pride take root. Remember, this protection is not earned. It's given. It is mercy, not merit, that keeps you standing. The moment you forget that, the armor weakens. Stay humble, stay grateful, and the covering will only grow stronger. Do not curse them back. Do not repay evil with evil. The power of your anointing is not in your reaction, but in your restraint. Let the Lord handle justice while you remain focused on peace. You don't need to fight for validation. God's favor is your vindication. Your enemies will soon realize that everything they sent toward you has been rerouted toward them. But even then, show mercy, for vengeance belongs to God, and He repays with perfect wisdom. You are called to rise above the noise, to live so blessed that even those who cursed you begin to question their motives. This is the strength of the chosen, to be untouchable, not by avoidance, but by alignment. You dwell in the shadow of the Almighty, where no curse can linger and no weapon can prosper. Every morning you wake up is proof that heaven's covering remains. Walk in that awareness. Move with quiet confidence. You do not need to fear what others plan in secret. Every hidden plot is exposed before it even reaches your doorstep. Every weapon formed loses its edge the moment your name is whispered in heaven's presence. And when you walk through the same streets where they once mocked you, you will not need to defend yourself. The evidence of blessing will speak louder than any rumor. They will see peace on your face, joy in your steps, and favor surrounding you, and they will know the truth. The one they tried to curse was actually chosen, loved, and protected all along. Something has begun to shift in your favor. Chosen one. It's not imagination, it's manifestation. You can feel it in the atmosphere, can't you? That quiet stirring that tells you something unseen is aligning. Something long delayed is finally breaking through. The season of reversal has started, and heaven is moving pieces that were frozen for years. For a long time, it felt like everything was against you. Doors closed, plans crumbled, people left without reason. It seemed as if the heavens were silent while your enemies spoke freely. But now, those same heavens have begun to move. Every obstacle that stood before you is trembling under divine instruction. The King of Heaven has issued a command: turn it around. What once brought you shame will now become your testimony. The very ground where you were mocked is about to witness your restoration. It won't happen gradually, it will unfold suddenly, as though heaven has pressed a fast-forward button over your destiny. This is not a coincidence, it's divine correction. God is balancing the scales. For every tear you cried, there will be joy returned. For every betrayal you endured, there will be loyalty restored. For every closed door, 10 new ones will open, not because of luck, but because of divine order. You are standing in the middle of a sacred reversal, and heaven is making sure everyone sees it. The same people who thought you were forgotten will soon watch as blessings surround you like morning light after a storm. You will not need to prove your innocence, your faithfulness, or your worth. Heaven will do that for you. As the prophet Isaiah declared in the Holy Scroll, chapter 61, verse 7, "Instead of your shame, you shall have double honor, and instead of confusion, they shall rejoice in their portion. Therefore, in their land they shall possess double. Everlasting joy shall be theirs." That's the promise over you, double. Where you were shamed, you will be celebrated. Where you were silenced, you will now speak with authority. Where you were broken, you will stand as a builder. The divine reversal doesn't simply heal, it multiplies. God is not returning you to what you had before. He is leading you into something greater. The tables are not just turning, they are being replaced. The ground where you once fell is no longer your place of pain, but the stage of your testimony. Every event that once seemed like loss was secretly part of heaven's design. When the enemy thought he had the final word, heaven rewrote the ending. You are living proof that divine justice is not delayed, it is deliberate. Feel the weight of this. Chosen one, your reversal is not just about you. It's about those who watched you suffer. It's about those who doubted that faith still works. God is making your life a living sermon, one that declares, what was meant for evil, God has turned for good. And when this happens, and it will happen, let humility be your crown. Walk gently, for you are carrying evidence of God's mercy. Your success will not be loud, it will be luminous. It will shine so brightly that even those who mocked you will find themselves silent before the glory of your transformation. You are entering a divine exchange, ashes for beauty, despair for praise, confusion for clarity. Every closed season is now breaking open. Every delayed answer is now in motion. What once was withheld is being released with interest. You are not merely recovering, you are reclaiming. So, pause. Chosen one. Let these words settle in your spirit. Do you feel the shift? The wind that once blew against you is now pushing you forward. The current that once dragged you down now carries you toward destiny. This is the evidence that your reversal has begun. And now, as a prophetic act of agreement, type this number below: 444. 34's the number of divine establishment and spiritual foundation. When you write it, you are declaring, what God has begun in me will not be undone. It symbolizes the solid ground beneath your feet, the promise that your new beginning is stable, secure, and sealed by heaven. Do not write it lightly. Each number carries meaning in heaven's language. When you type 444, you're saying, this turnaround is permanent. You're speaking faith into the unseen, calling forth the full manifestation of what God has decreed. This is your moment, your hour of divine reversal. The same story that began with mockery will end in magnificence. Heaven is not just defending you, it is displaying you. And when the dust settles, all will know that it was not coincidence, not chance, but covenant. Your reversal has already begun. Walk in it. The time has come, chosen one, for you to stand where others have fallen. You have walked through valleys they never survived, endured storms they could not bear, and yet here you are, still rising. You are stepping onto ground that once held the weight of your pain, and now it will hold the weight of your purpose. This is not pride, it's prophecy. You are walking into the very places that once tried to bury you, not as a victim, but as a victor. Every stone thrown at you is now the foundation beneath your feet. Every insult, every rejection, every betrayal has become part of the platform heaven built for your revealing. Do you see how God works? He does not erase the past, He redeems it. He takes the ashes of humiliation and turns them into soil for harvest. He uses your lowest moments as the blueprint for your greatest impact. What once felt like destruction was actually construction. He was building something eternal within you. And now, the evidence of His divine reversal stands before you. The ground where they mocked you will become the ground where they marvel. The same space where you were humiliated will now echo with honor. The places that once carried your tears will soon carry your triumph. The prophet Elijah spoke as recorded in the first book of Kings, chapter 18, verse 38. Then the fire of the Lord fell and consumed the burnt sacrifice, the wood, the stones, and the dust, and licked up the water that was in the trench. That fire symbol of divine approval is what is about to fall upon your life. The same way heaven answered Elijah before the mockers of Baal, heaven will answer you before the mockers of your destiny, not to glorify you, but to reveal His power through you. The fire that once tested you will now testify for you. You see, the fire does not only destroy, it reveals what is pure. The flames that once threatened to consume you actually refined you. They burned away fear, pride, and doubt, leaving only faith behind. That is why you will stand where others fell. You allowed the fire to finish its work. Those who tried to shame you never understood what was happening. They thought you were being punished, but you were being purified. You were being made ready for visibility, not destroyed for failure. You were learning the language of fire the way heaven speaks when it chooses a vessel for greatness. Now, when you walk into those same environments that once rejected you, the atmosphere will shift. You won't have to say a word. The fire within you will do the speaking. People will sense something different, peace that cannot be provoked, confidence that cannot be shaken, authority that cannot be explained. That is what happens when heaven vindicates the chosen. Even your silence will carry power. Even your presence will preach. The ones who used to mock will suddenly feel conviction, not because you condemn them, but because your transformation exposes their unbelief. That's what divine vindication does. It doesn't embarrass others, it awakens them. This new season will not require you to fight for recognition. Heaven has already written your name into divine remembrance. Every place that closed its doors will now open them voluntarily. Every environment that once rejected you will now make room for your voice. You won't need to knock, the gates will open on their own, because your assignment commands it. But remember, standing where others fell is not permission for pride. It is an invitation to humility. You stand not because you are stronger, but because grace kept you standing. The fire that lifted you could have burned you, but mercy intervened. The ground you stand on now is holy, for it carries the memory of pain turned into purpose. So, walk carefully. Chosen one. Every step you take now is a testimony. Every breath you breathe is proof that God keeps His word. The same hands that carried you through the valley are now crowning you on the mountain. And when you look around and see the ruins of what once was, the failures, the betrayals, the heartbreak, don't despise them. Bless them. For every stone in that rubble was once part of your building. Without it, you would not be standing here. You have reached the point where your past can no longer hurt you, it can only honor you. You stand on it, not beneath it. You rise from it, not in spite of it. And, as heaven watches, the same fire that once tested you now lights your way forward. You are walking proof that no fall is final when grace is involved. You stand where others fell because you learned what they refused to, how to bow before rising, how to surrender before shining. And now, all of heaven calls your name, not as a reminder of suffering, but as a celebration of survival. Every insult they hurled, every cruel laugh they shared, every whisper behind your back, heaven heard it all. Chosen one. The sound of their mockery rose like smoke before the throne of God. And though he did not strike them down immediately, he recorded every word. What they meant for harm has now become material for glory. The tables have turned, but not in the way they imagined. You see, God does not simply silence laughter, he transforms it. He turns mockery into magnitude, ridicule into revelation. The very words that were used to belittle you will become part of the story that magnifies him. Every cruel joke, every sneer, every false accusation, they are being rewritten into parables of power. There is no wasted word in heaven's plan. The pain of mockery you endured has been recycled into the fuel of your destiny. They said, "You'll never make it." Heaven replied, "Watch this." They said, "You're finished." Heaven whispered, "I'm just beginning." They said, "You're alone." Heaven thundered, "You're chosen." Mockery has a strange power. It reveals what the world fears most. They laughed at your dreams because your dreams reflected their disbelief. They mocked your faith because your faith exposed their emptiness. They insulted your perseverance because your endurance reminded them of what they lost long ago. The laughter was never really about you. It was about what your light revealed in their darkness. And though their words wounded, they also worked. Each insult pressed you deeper into prayer. Each rejection pushed you closer to God. Each misunderstanding forced you to listen to heaven instead of human applause. Without their mockery, you might have stayed comfortable, but their cruelty became your catalyst. That is the divine irony of heaven. What is sent to break you becomes what builds you. The mockery that once humiliated you now highlights the majesty of God's timing. The very pain that once silenced you has become the reason your voice carries authority. Listen to what the ancient text declares, as was spoken in the book of Genesis, chapter 50, verse 20. "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good, to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." That's the pattern of heaven. It turns harm into harvest. It converts insult into insight. It takes what was meant to humiliate and transforms it into honor. You are walking proof of that divine exchange. The laughter that once burned your spirit no longer hurts, it humbles you. You realize now that if they had not mocked, you might never have prayed. If they had not doubted you, you might never have discovered God's faithfulness for yourself. Every cruel word became a spark that lit the flame of your perseverance. Do you see it now? They weren't laughing at your failure. They were unknowingly participating in your formation. The more they mocked, the deeper you dug, the more they doubted. The stronger your roots grew. You learned to depend on God alone, to stand when standing hurt, to believe when believing burned. That's why you walk differently now, not in arrogance, but in awareness. You know what it's like to be ridiculed and still remain righteous. You've learned the art of quiet endurance, the sacred discipline of letting heaven answer instead of you. And when God finally responded, his voice drowned out their laughter. This is the moment where heaven reveals the magnitude of your journey. You're not just surviving mockery, you're mastering it. You've turned pain into perspective, suffering into strength, loss into light. Those who once pointed and laughed will now point and learn. Your story has become their lesson. But even now, remember, your vindication is not for revenge. It's for revelation. The goal is not to make them regret what they did. It's to make them recognize the God who carried you. You are not here to humiliate your mockers, but to humble them with your grace. Your response is your revelation. Let mercy rule your heart, even in victory. Let compassion guide your words. For the same people who mocked you are also the ones God wants to reach through your testimony. Your rise is not meant to crush them, it's meant to call them higher. Every time you remember their laughter, let it remind you of how far you've come. Let it stir gratitude, not grief. Because you now see clearly those who mocked you only confirmed you. Their laughter was heaven's background music, playing softly behind the masterpiece God was painting through your life. And now that the painting is revealed, all can see what heaven saw all along, a masterpiece born from mockery. Beauty birthed from ashes. The ridicule that once defined your pain now defines your power. You are living proof that no insult, no lie, no humiliation can erase the mark of divine destiny. There was a reason the crown was hidden from you. Chosen one, heaven concealed it. Not because you were unworthy, but because you were not yet ready to wear it. The path to the crown always passes through the valley of crushing. Every chosen one must first learn to kneel before they can carry glory. And you have learned that lesson well. The season of ridicule was heaven's disguise. While others laughed, you were being crowned in secret. The hidden crown is not made of gold, it is forged from endurance, humility, and faith. It cannot be taken by hands that crave attention. It can only be received by hearts that have been refined by pain. The Apostle reminds us in his second letter to Timothy, chapter 4, verse 8. Now there is in store for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord will award to all who long for his appearing. That is your promise. The crown you wear is not one of arrogance, but of alignment. It's not about fame or recognition, it's about fulfillment. Heaven crowns not the loud, but the loyal, not the celebrated, but the consistent, not those who are flawless, but those who remain faithful. Every trial you endured was a thread in that crown. Every no from heaven was actually a hidden not yet. Every delay was protection in disguise. God had to make sure the weight of glory would not crush you when it finally arrived. Now that the crown begins to shine, wear it with reverence. It is not a symbol of superiority, it is a signal of stewardship. You have been entrusted with influence, not to dominate, but to demonstrate, to show the world that holiness still has weight, that faith still has power, and that humility still reigns higher than pride. Think of your life as a lamp. Chosen one. The oil that fuels its flame was costly, every drop gathered from seasons of pain. When you light that lamp, it is not to boast about your brightness, but to offer warmth to those still standing in cold darkness. And now that your light begins to shine, let it spread, not through shouting, but through shining. Your actions, your gentleness, your perseverance, they are all sermons that preach without sound. Yet, for those who listen closely, they will hear heaven's message through you. This is what redemption looks like. You have come far, but your journey is not only about arrival, it's about reflection. When God places the crown upon your life, He doesn't just want you to wear it, He wants you to mirror Him through it. The true test of the chosen is not how they rise, but how they handle recognition. And as your story reaches hearts, let it travel beyond you. There are countless others wandering in their valley, thinking God has forgotten them. They need to know that crowns can grow in darkness, that purpose can bloom from pain, that laughter and rejection are only temporary scenes in heaven's greater script. So, as you feel this word resonate, take a quiet moment and respond, not for me, but for heaven's purpose through you. If this message speaks to the hidden parts of your soul, like it as a mark of gratitude. Let your like be your candle lit in honor of the journey. When you share, you scatter seeds of hope into the world's weary soil. You never know whose life will bloom because you dared to send light into their night. Perhaps someone sitting in silence right now needs this exact reminder that the delay is not denial, that their hidden crown is being formed even as they read these words. And when you subscribe, see it not as joining a channel, but as joining a circle of faith, a gathering of the chosen who choose to keep their lamps burning. Together, we carry light further than we could alone. Finally, in the spirit of unity, take one more small act of faith. Leave a comment below, write these words, "I choose my crown." Let that be your declaration to heaven. It's not pride, it's purpose. You're saying, I accept the weight, the responsibility, the light. When you type those words, you align your spirit with the destiny already written for you. Because this moment is your unveiling. The hidden crown is no longer hidden, and the world will soon see what heaven has seen all along, a chosen one, not made by applause, but by anointing. The fire no longer burns. Chosen one, it shines. What once scorched your heart has now become the very thing that radiates through you. You have walked through the furnace, but instead of ashes, you carry embers of glory. What the world thought would consume you has instead refined you into something unbreakable, something luminous. Pain has lost its sting because it has fulfilled its purpose. It no longer defines you, it has designed you. Every trial, every betrayal, every tear carved shape into your spirit until you reflected the image of endurance itself. You are no longer the same soul who once trembled under the weight of uncertainty. You are fire-touched, heaven-forged, and divinely tempered. As the Apostle wrote in his first letter to Peter, chapter 1, verse 7, "These trials will show that your faith is genuine. It is being tested as fire purifies gold, your faith far more precious than mere gold." That's exactly what happened to you. The heat didn't destroy you, it revealed you. Every trial proved your authenticity. Every storm unveiled your substance. Faith that is never tested remains theory. Faith that endures fire becomes testimony. The fire was your teacher. It taught you how to let go, how to listen, how to trust. It burned away false attachments and left only what was eternal. You learned to walk without needing the approval of others, to move without visible assurance, to love without condition. That is the power of purified faith. It no longer wavers in uncertainty. It rests in truth. When others see you now, they sense something but cannot explain it. They may not know your story, but they feel your strength. They notice that your peace cannot be shaken, that your presence carries calm. It's because you carry evidence of the fire you survived. The glow on you is not from comfort, it's from conquest. The greatest paradox of divine refinement is this: what once burned you now blesses you. You can look at the same memories that once broke you and thank God for them. The people who wounded you became mirrors, showing where healing was needed. The circumstances that exhausted you taught you to rest in grace instead of striving in fear. And now, heaven looks at you and sees not the ashes of your past, but the radiance of your rebirth. You have become a living flame, steady, enduring, unextinguished. You are light forged in hardship, truth formed in silence, and glory refined in grief. But the fire didn't just change your outer life, it changed your inner vision. You no longer see from pain, you see from purpose. You no longer ask, "Why did this happen to me?" but "What was heaven showing me through it?" That shift of sight is where maturity lives. The mature soul no longer fears the flame, it welcomes it as a purifier. Every chosen one must go through this process. It's how heaven separates those who only speak faith from those who embody it. You didn't just survive your fire, you became its message. You are the sermon that flames preach, the hymn that storms hum, the melody of resilience. And though the world measures success by what can be seen, heaven measures it by what remains after the fire. Look at what remains in you now: peace, wisdom, compassion, courage. That's your gold. That's your treasure. Everything else that burned away was never meant to last. This is the secret of divine refinement. It is never punishment. It is promotion disguised as pressure. Every heat that rose against you was heaven's way of proving what was hidden within you. You have passed through the flames, and instead of losing yourself, you found your truest form. Now you walk differently. There is stillness in your steps, certainty in your silence. You no longer chase validation, you carry revelation. You no longer run from hardship, you recognize it as holy. For you have seen that the fire does not belong to the enemy, it belongs to God. So walk boldly through this new light. You are no longer afraid of the flames because you have become one. Your spirit glows with the warmth of divine transformation. You carry the fire that once tested you, and everywhere you go, it spreads not to destroy, but to ignite others. The fire becomes glory, and the glory becomes your signature. You are not what you went through, you are what came through you. The heat refined your purpose. The pain revealed your purity. And now the glow of grace rests on your life forever. And now, chosen one, the heavens have spoken their final word. The laughter has ceased, the whispers have faded, and the dust of the battle has settled. You stand beneath a sky that once thundered with storms, but now glows with peace. The war is over not because you fought harder, but because God has declared his verdict. This is the moment of divine closure. The season of mockery has expired, the time of vindication has dawned. What once was chaos has been reordered by holy hands. Every wrong has been addressed, every injustice accounted for, every hidden wound acknowledged by heaven's justice. God himself has spoken over your story, and his declaration cannot be reversed. You have been through the valley of humiliation, the wilderness of waiting, and the furnace of refinement. Each place that once tried to destroy you has become part of your testimony. The journey was long and the cost was high, but the destination is sacred. You now stand in a place that only the faithful can reach, the land of divine vindication. This is not a noisy triumph. It does not come with trumpets or applause. It comes in stillness, the kind of silence that follows thunder. The peace that settles after war. The kind of silence that says, "Heaven has spoken, and there is nothing more to add." The mockers who once found joy in your pain now find silence in their spirits. Their laughter echoes back upon them, and the weight of conviction presses heavier than any word you could have spoken. You need not seek revenge. Heaven's justice is poetic. It writes truth with grace and balance. And through it all, the unchanging word stands as your witness, as it is written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 54, verse 17. No weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against you in judgment you shall condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is from me, says the Lord. You have become a living declaration of Isaiah's promise. Every insult that once pierced your heart has now turned into a jewel in your crown. Every wound has become wisdom. Every loss has become leverage. The scales of heaven have tipped in your favor, and the verdict is clear. You are justified by grace, strengthened by fire, and crowned by mercy. Now, walk through this world not as one who needs to prove anything, but as one who already carries proof. The peace that rests upon you is your evidence. The joy that refuses to fade is your testimony. The grace that follows you wherever you go is your defense. Vindication does not always look like thunder. It often looks like peace. It looks like you sleeping soundly while others wrestle with the weight of their words. It looks like you walking freely in the same places that once held your shame. It looks like you forgiving those who never apologized and blessing those who once cursed you. That is the highest form of victory, to stand tall without bitterness, to shine without shouting, to live as proof that God's justice works silently but perfectly. You do not carry vengeance, you carry vision. You do not wield anger, you wield understanding. You have learned that divine justice is not about punishment, it is about restoration. You are whole now, not because life has been easy, but because grace has been relentless. The laughter that once surrounded your suffering has now become the backdrop for your song of triumph. The tears that once watered your pillow have turned into rivers of revelation. The heart that once broke is now the vessel of light. And as heaven watches, your story stands complete. You are not the same person who began this journey. You have been remade, refined, and redefined. The hands that once trembled now heal others. The eyes that once wept now see clearly. The soul that once questioned now carries certainty. This is heaven's final verdict. You were mocked, but you were never forsaken. You were wounded, but you were never wasted. You were broken, but you were never beyond repair. The God who saw your suffering has now sealed your story with his signature redemption. Walk forward, chosen one, for the storm has passed. The ashes have become your altar. The laughter of men has faded, and the voice of God remains. Your vindication is not loud, but it is lasting. It is written across eternity that you were never forgotten, and never will be. Chosen one, if you have walked with me through every word of this journey, know this: you were never reading by chance. Heaven arranged this encounter to remind you that your story still matters, that your purpose still breathes, and that your light still burns brighter than the laughter of your past. You have risen from ashes into awareness, from tears into testimony. Now you stand not as the wounded, but as the witness living proof that faith still conquers, that mercy still restores, and that divine justice still moves through ordinary lives like yours. If these words found you in a quiet moment and spoke to something sacred within, don't let them end here. Like this message as your silent amen, a simple gesture that tells heaven you've received it. When you share, imagine it as releasing a dove into the world, carrying peace to someone still searching for hope. And when you subscribe, you are not joining a crowd, you are joining a circle of light, a gathering of those who choose to keep their spirits awake. Finally, leave a few words below, a line, a phrase, a symbol, whatever your heart whispers. Each comment becomes a spark in this divine mosaic, a way of saying, I am part of this story too. Heaven has spoken, chosen one. Now it is your turn to echo that truth, to live it, to spread it, to shine it.